All right, welcome back, everybody. Momentum Mastery, episode 8. If this is your first call, I'm going to do a quick recap of the series. We've been talking about the 7 different areas of life where we put our consciousness, our intent at. The first one is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, relationships, your career, and your creative side. So, as humans, we really go under those values, those laws of being a human, and operate in all of them. And we put our consciousness in different areas at different times. And of course, we all know that it's good to be balanced. So, it's good to put attention into areas that maybe are lacking a little bit and you kind of feel it in your soul, in your gut, your intuition. So just by bringing awareness into certain areas, we become more balanced and we feel more present and at ease. So we talk about that and setting an intention every week of what am I working on this week the most? Maybe it's my creative because, I kind of feel like when I think about that, if I'm not using it, maybe like there's some tapped in extra energy if I do start using it. And just even putting forth 10 minutes into that area a day and not judging it or thinking too far ahead of, well, what am I going to do with this creative thing? What am I going to just create charms and then turn that into a business? Like, not even thinking like that way, just doing it because it brings you joy. And then from that joy, what happens is there can be an opening of inspiration or a new idea. So that's why it is important. Or if it's like the mental, where like bringing awareness to your thoughts and seeing which ones make you feel a certain way. Some make you feel a lower way, less active. You just kind of want to sit around, not do much. There's certain thoughts. Well, if you bring awareness to them and you journal them out, you contemplate them out, you just reevaluate them and say they no longer serve me, then that creates space for new thoughts, new opportunities for growth or for an idea to come in, inspiration. Again, it's in these moments of bringing our attention to a specific area in life. And even if like for rest is important, like do you have negative thoughts when you feel like I don't deserve to rest. I don't deserve to take a 15, 20-minute break. I need to get work done. I got stuff on my list. Like, do I really deserve that? Like, those are, you see, those are the same thoughts, those negative thoughts, not your highest self thoughts. And we talked about Envision. Vision was one of the episodes, right? It's good to have a vision because vision creates reality. So getting crystal clear on what is the reality you want to create for yourself. What is the reality you want to create for yourself? And it could be short term, 6 months. What is the what is the 6 month? How about just being more like present and like that's my focus. I want to focus now because when you're not present, which is already good, which is already good. And then sorry. And then momentum momentum was a call. putting momentum in these areas, small little daily, 15 minutes only, right? Pick something. So, my question to you is number one, how do you feel right now? Drop a one word in the chat, how you feel right now. And what is one thing that was a win for you in the past week? And if you're listening to this call, then this is a good time to just reflect on one word of how you're feeling right now, and then the win for the week. Present. Yeah, that's good. That's the best. Because present is just a good state. It's a state where, you're not stressing, you're not worrying, you're just present, you're listening to this call, you're participating through thinking and contemplating, and we're just creating the space for contemplation. So now I want you to think of the 7 categories. Which one, which, maybe it's all of them. Give yourself credit first on all of them. What have you done in the past week in the 7 categories we just talked about? Accomplished. Antoinette, accomplished. My win was meal prepping a great lunch and dinner this week. Yes. Yes, exactly. So that is amazing. You're you are now in the phase of, if you build momentum, not if, when you build momentum, and whatever it is you pick, if you build enough momentum, then it becomes second nature. And then it becomes this amazing new thing that you have now gained wisdom and the ability to help someone else in, which is great. It's a tool, becomes a tool. And then on top of that, it creates space for new opportunity to come in. And you don't know what that is, and no one knows what that is. But whatever it is that you're working on, if you build enough momentum in that category and you do it weekly, daily, weekly, daily, weekly, and then daily, and then you no longer need discipline because it just becomes you holistically. It actually merges with you, and you become a master in that area. So that's why I think it's important to pick these things. Like mine is self-talk. I am working on mastering self-talk, because if you can do that, then, I mean, first of all, how would you think life would look like if everything that you thought was just rainbows? I mean, it's hard to imagine. I don't think any of us can, but that's how powerful our mind is, our thoughts. They create the reality that we live in. So where my thoughts were 10 years ago and where they are now, it is a different reality. It's a different world that I live in. From a very, chaotic, always in a stressful, unhealthy body and mind, to now way, way more calm, chiller, just present, and space comes in for ideas, new opportunities, synchronicities. Like, that stuff is real. So self-talk is mine. I think that's a big one for all of us. And honestly, it really is all about just being aware of what your thoughts are and knowing that you ultimately have the power to rewrite it like a computer program. Books help. There's spiritual books, the Bible, right? The Bible. People who love the Bible. Reading the Bible is gonna rewire your thoughts. Positive, positive writing. I'm gonna call it because that's what I do. Positive writing. So that can look like all the positive things that you've ever received in your life. Look back of all the things that you've ever gotten from God, universe, whoever your higher power is, has given you everything to get you to this point. And then everything that you have, and then everything that you can still be and are actually already now. So if you want to like not sweat the small stuff, right, which is there's so much small stuff in the world, then writing it out on paper is a good activity to do it. I mean, you can breathe it out. Breathing is wow, what a tool breathing is. 20 minutes of breathing, deep breathing, eyes closed, conscious breathing, getting the body to calm down and then drop your consciousness down as well. So therefore there's less thoughts. And then again, in that less thoughts, there is the space for new stuff to come in. And that stuff could be anything. It's all positive. It's all very like your next level of greatness, elevation. Because see, we're all elevating. Every single person out there, one way or another, is all expanding their consciousness, awareness. So it's good. All right. Anyone want to share a little bit about their thoughts as far as maybe their best category and their category that they're going to work on this week? One of each.
Well, Jeremy, I can't get on a call without talking. So,
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
so I don't know. For me, it's every week. So, like, I think of it this way: your thoughts create your reality. And if you want to change anything in your life, you can't change anything till you change your energy or how you think about it or how you react to it when something happens. So, our minds are like your subconscious mind is like a computer. It's like an operating system, right? So you've had these experiences happen, and then like, for example, every time you get stressed out, you vape. Every time you get stressed out, you eat bad food, whatever. That's a triggered mechanism from your subconscious, right? So that's why it's so hard to change, and why people have such a hard time going, "Oh, I'm going to go running. I'm going to go to the gym." Everybody knows what they need to do to be healthier, to be more fit, and feel better. Why don't they do it? Well, they're not changing their subconscious mind. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind. You have to know how it operates. You're operating like a computer. So you can't change until you change your energy. So when something comes into your awareness, you have to catch it and go, every time I get pissed off, I do X. or every time I get upset or sad, for me, I'm a food addict. So like every time I would get sad, I would eat. So when those moments happen and it comes in, you have to stop yourself and go, wait, this is coming into my awareness. I'm aware of it because now you have to make a different choice. So everything works in pattern recognition. You do the same, we call them habits, right? But it's a pattern recognition of thought because you've had several experiences that were either traumatic in a good way, in a bad way, whatever, which have caused you to react a certain way. So I don't know how to label that in those 7 categories that you talked about. But for me, it is pattern recognizing that, oh, every time this happens, I do this, I react this way. Now, in this moment, I have an opportunity to make a different choice, which that's what's going to help me change. We always look at it externally, like, oh, I got to write out all these goals and I got to do all this. What do I got to do to change? What do I got to do to get better? What do I got to do? That'll work. It just takes longer. You have to pattern interrupt your subconscious mind. That's where it starts because we all operate like a computer.
Yeah.
That's what your subconscious mind is. So, and your thoughts, you're going to have 80% of the thoughts, 85% of the thoughts you have today, you had yesterday and the day before and the day before, because that's how your mind is programmed to work, right? So you have to understand that you work in patterns because you operate kind of like a computer. You're kind of plugged in, which then leads me to talk about not being plugged in so much and grounding and walking barefoot and doing all those good things. Those are just all life hacks. But yeah, for me, it's like understanding why we don't change and why it's so hard to make changes. It's not your fault necessarily. It's years and years and years of us having a programmed traumatic response and doing things the same way when something emotionally happens or whatever. So for me, it's pattern recognition. I don't know how to categorize that in your 7 categories,
So,
but
well, what are your like tips to undo that?
so what I did, because I live a very, as you know, you're well aware, I live a very peaceful, joyful existence. Most people are outward directed. So like somebody cuts you off in traffic, you get pissed off and curse or yell. I laugh when it happens. I'm just like, oh, they're having a bad day. I'm very inward directed. I understand in order to change my reality, I got to change my energy myself, right? So what I did was I worked on reprogramming my subconscious mind. So for, I don't know, 2 years, 2.5 years, probably closer to 3 years now, I have different things that I listen to on repeat as I sleep. Things that are, it can be a multitude of things, whatever's your thing. But there's like positive affirmations. That's how I used to start. I used to start with this like affirmation that was, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am successful, I am peace, I am love, I am joy. And I would listen to that on repeat for months as I go to sleep, right? It invariably has to change you. And you may not see it right away, right? But what I noticed is I did that and I meditated. Meditation is my other big life hack I would tell everybody that you should do. But those 2 things changed my operating system internally. Therefore, when things happened in the world, because they're going to happen, they didn't affect me. I'm in control of my emotions and I'm in control of my energy. Where my energy flows, where my focus goes. If I focus on negative stuff and people being jerks, then I'm going to have a negative experience, right? And I know that's how it works. So you have to catch yourself and not tune into it. But for me, you have to first focus on reprogramming your subconscious mind. And you can find a litany of information on that just on YouTube. There's so many good things on YouTube that you can just listen to and start doing that. Once you recognize that that's how our brains work, well, not even easier pathway to fixing it or doing the things that you need to do to be healthier and wealthier, happier, more successful, whatever those things are, whatever's important to you, right? So that's what I would say. Start with the reprogramming of the subconscious mind and meditation. I tell people all the time, meditation saved my life. It's the single most important thing that I've done in my life. Now, when things happen, I'm just better prepared to deal with them. I get cut off in traffic, I laugh. I don't have a response to it anymore that's negative. I don't get angry. I don't have outbursts. People think I'm crazy when I'm telling this stuff, but you can live life this way. You just have to know how to attack it.
Thank you, Colin. Great
You're
tips.
welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think different things work for different people. For me, it's books, audiobooks while I drive, Most days I'm driving an hour and a half, 2 hours. So for me, that's what works for me. But meditation with breathing definitely works as well, for sure. Antoinette,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So definitely mental for me. Um, Definitely, I totally agree with Colin. It just depends on where you decide to put energy into and your response. Um, but now I know, take a win. Every win counts. Winning, as far as I got my blood pressure system now. So any type of good blood pressure, I take it as a win. And knowing that I'm doing something to lead to my goal. Um, but yeah, just appreciating a little bit of wins. And I kept hearing you all saying um pretty much in self-talk and what you say and what you put out there. And I figure if I could be my own biggest critic, why can't I be my own biggest cheerleader? Um, so also taking not only what other people see, although it does feel good to get the recognition to say, "Hey, Nat, you looking good. You doing good. I'm proud of you. I see what you're doing." But to know that for myself means so much more. And at the end of the day, I'm with my own thoughts, and to know that it's okay to take a win and just encourage, self-encourage, self-talk, and know that every day is not going to be a perfect day, but as long as I try, that's all that matters. So definitely mental.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Exactly. Exactly. Why can't we be our biggest cheerleaders? Why? Like if you have a down thought, why can't we just rise above that and have that higher voice say, "Wait a second, it's all good." Like you're going to learn from this every time you have, every time. And we still think that a failure is a failure and a loss. No, they're all wins, everything. Yes, acknowledge your wins. Building that momentum is what it's all about. That's what Colin's talking about is rewiring your subconscious by everything, the wins, all the positive affirmations. Eric, what's your tips? Because you've been at it for a while now.
Um, I like how
And what
you,
you're working on too. I need to hear that. Thank you.
what am I working on? Everything, always. Um, but Antoinette, I agree. I have a quote I always use, like, I don't need a pat on the back, but they're always nice. But anyway, I liked what you said earlier in the fact that we can, like, catching our negative thoughts today is a huge step forward. And where also, 5, 6 years ago, for a long time, decades, just lived in that um, negative world of this sucks and that sucks and he sucks and everyone sucked except for me. But just delusional ego and low levels of consciousness and just catching it today and being able to work on that and live this new mind, body, soul, uh, higher levels of consciousness life, right? Full of gratitude. Never had gratitude. It was always never enough. And just I just feel like living in La La Land. Like I can't believe it. Like I was definitely dying before, and now I really feel like living and happy and healthy and anyway, total 180. What am I working on? I'd probably say that final 15, 20 pounds that I can't shake. I gotta find that initial discipline that I had when I first started. I've been on maintenance for so long. So that's definitely a goal of mine, is to still lose that final weight. Mindset wise, you know, uh, Colin, I also at the beginning like couldn't meditate. Like that was torture for me to sit for 5 minutes and so on. So I did. I used YouTube's like 5 minute guided meditations, depending on what mood I was in, whether it was like morning wake up or inspiration or business or or go to sleep. I mean, literally, there's a million topics for 5 minute guided meditations. And I got through it and then started running, and then that became my meditation. Um, but I think I use my running meditation as my only meditation, and I should carve out a little bit of more time to just provide that space for thoughts and be present and grateful and just chill and take those 5-10 minute mental breaks. And I definitely don't do enough of that. I'm run, run, run.
Make them 20, man.
Make them 20.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that permission. I appreciate
You deserve it.
it. I do deserve it. We all
Yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as like pillars, you know, mind for sure, body for sure, soul and spirituality and faith, that's still a huge work in progress for me to let go. Creative, you know, as entrepreneurs, we get to be creative every day, which is amazing, and figure stuff out and come up with ideas and implement them, and that's fun. Um, you know, family, I'm in a good spot, super grateful. Man, everything's good and will be better.
I love it. Yeah. It's good to just reflect.
Hey, Jeremy, I want to chime in on something. Eric
Yeah,
was
go
talking
ahead.
about being grateful. You know, gratitude is so powerful. It's such a high frequency
So
of love.
powerful.
So powerful to be grateful for ever. And I tell people this and they think I'm crazy. I say I'm most grateful for the things that happened that I most wish didn't happen.
Yep.
Those are those teaching moments in our lives, right? That person that screwed you over or hurt you or whatever, right? Like we always think there's something wrong with us, but that's not a reflection of us, right? I'm grateful for every experience because if you have a delusional belief like I do that everything's always working out in your favor, because I think everything's always working in my favor, then I don't really care what happens. Even if I want to view it as negative, I said it's not like, you know, for example, a few years ago, I had this really good job and I loved it and I lost it. But then something better came up 6 months later, right? So there's, you know, when things like that happen,
Right.
like our natural reaction is to just jump to like, oh man, this sucks, this is terrible. But you know, there's always something greater around the corner, something different, something better, somebody new you need to experience or whatever it is. So I think it's really, 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 really important too. Like Antoinette was talking about taking the win, like just love yourself. You know, I love myself and I don't give two shits what anybody thinks about me. I don't care, you know what I mean? Like their opinion of me doesn't matter because I know I'm a good person and I do good things and I'm here to help people and you know, just love ourselves. Love yourself for who you are.
Yeah.
Because we're all amazing, creative, wonderful beings, right? We're all
And
here
look
to.
at and look. I was going to say, and look at us, like we're working on ourselves and trying to help each other, and 90% of the world is not. So we had to get to some, you know, negative aspects of our life or rock bottoms or whatever it might be to really, really I mean, everyone wants to be happier and healthier, but to do something about it, 90% of the world does not. And we are, and that's the miracle. Us four miracles right now. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
Boom.
I always tell people the best thing that I can do for you is be the best me. And the best thing you can do for me is be the best you. That's how we
Yep.
change the world. It's by being it's all eternal. It starts there. Because one person acting
One
in
ripple at a time.
in lockstep of like love, yeah, one person is just as powerful with love is just as powerful as 200 that are negative. Love's just too strong. So like if you're doing things to take care of yourself, you're actually helping everybody else too. So
Yes. Well, I am grateful for you guys. I am grateful for everyone that's going to watch and listen to this later. I'm grateful for our clients. I'm grateful for a lot of things, a lot of things. And yeah, it's just a great feeling to live under. More of it will come. Um, yeah. So, event coming up next Thursday at Acacia Park, 7 p.m. Wellness talk, and then a small little hike. Come at 7 p.m. Acacia Park.
Jeremy, it's 2 weeks out.
Is it 2 weeks out? Oh yeah, 2 weeks out. September 4th. September 4th.
Yeah, the first one was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
you're gonna have to start moving those up. You're gonna lose sunlight soon.
We might do the one after that at 6:30 or 6.
Yeah.
And then we'll bring it in Eaton.
Jeremy,
winter.
I'm grateful for four round Friday. Just so you
4
know.
round Friday coming up in 2 days. That's right. We do 4 round Friday on Friday, and they get to pick 2 of the exercises. That's in Independence.
That's cool.
Come on by. So yes.
4 rounds is serious. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yes. I'm just gonna leave it off again with what Colin said, reprogramming the subconscious, and how I started the call just in a different way. And again, there's ways to do that through guided meditations and talks. So I do all of that. So reach out and we can work on that. You guys all have my number. So just let me know. Thank you for being on this call and watching, listening, and we'll see you next week.